Have a blessed day, everyone. I am Marian Landoy, and this time I will share my chosen Asian literature and their movie. So, I choose an American literature which I make a case analysis about their popular movie. It entitled A Quiet Place. Directed by John Krasinski and written by Brian Woods, Skarbik, and Krasinski. From a story conceived by Woods and Pitt. Maybe you are all familiar with it now, so my objectives now are to know the problem of the movie, how the flow of the story used viable solutions, and how does it resolved and implemented. And yet, I'll make some recommendations regarding the case analysis of this story, so let's start. The characters of the story are the director and the male lead, which is the father, John Krasinski, and the female lead, which is the mother, Emily Blunt, and their children are bright, resourceful, and invariably on edge. And the couple's oldest child is Dev, but they are the protagonists of the story. And the monsters or the strange creatures, it serves as the antagonist in the story. So my thesis statement now is that silence must be applied in difficult situations. This can avoid strange creatures, good for our health, and it's the best way to protect our loved ones from harm. It's better to remain silent, but still vigilant. So now, let me share the movie background. If they hear you, they catch and kill you. If Blunt's family live in a silence to avoid strange creatures, that chased by sound because even a little sound or footstep, they can bring them into death. They are motivated to find a way to protect each other while desperately looking for a means to fight back. So, in the movie, the family's inability to communicate is the problem because they remain silent in order for them to be alive, and the story is about their journey to solving that, while also getting away from the space or the strange creatures. So in A Quiet Place, the high risk factor is how to stay silent, and the internal issue is how to communicate unexpressed thoughts and feelings. The movie also serves as an example for parents need to protect the kids even they are aware that no matter what they do, they can't always do so. In addition to the lack of spoken dialogue, it is became a barrier because they don't know how to survive in that miserable place. So the things they do to avoid the predators or the strange creatures that hunts, so the Blunt's family learns to communicate through American Sign Language and apparent facial expressions. This is one of the things they do to avoid the predators that hunt them. They don't need to shout for help anymore because their house and grounds are surrounded by a string of golden lights that glows red when someone is in danger, so they became aware of that. However, it's not enough to make them fully safe to the monsters or the strange creatures. So, in some information, the monster's surface shell is sensitive to gunshot and other weapons, and they are too sensitive to high-frequency sounds, which is also their weakness, and yet, monster also can't swim. So, they use that against the monsters to survive on the miserable place. And later on, while Mrs. Blunt's laboring to her fourth child, the two children discover the instruments underground, which can make a monster's die because that instrument has a loud sound. In conclusion, through pain, grief, mouth screams, and avoidable fear, it tells a story of love. A Blunt's family is constantly trying to push to their bounds, but they never give up on each other. That even in the event of severe death because of the power of courage, love, and support. And based on my research, taking time for silence resets the nervous system, helps retain energy, and develops our mind to become more flexible and receptive to the difficult situations in which so many of us live, learn, and manage to focus. So it's really beneficial. Like in this movie, the characters remain silent to make their mind think a capable solution to be alive. And I believe that silence is the best answer to someone or something who doesn't value our words and efforts. So we should always remember if we are in a challenging situations, we should apply it more specifically and take some time to rest our minds and hearts while still remaining vigilant. And yes, in the movie, the solution is to become loud, to kill the monsters or the strange creatures, but it's still in the situation. More specifically, if we are in a difficult situation, the best thing we need to do is to keep silent. Why? Because it doesn't solve if we are too loud. So that's what I learned on this movie. Thank you and God bless.